Hello and welcome back to the Dolecast. I am joined this week with Adam Byrne and Ciaran Franco. We're chatting about lads' holidays, we're chatting about jobs, stand-up, we're talking about all sorts. We're talking about the B team, which is in the Limelight this June the 27th. It's going to be unbelievable. Buy your tickets, the link will be in the description. Please buy them. It's going to be a fun time. I have such a sore head this afternoon, I really do. Oh, melted out. So please buy those tickets. That would be very much appreciated. This is a pretty bleep-heavy episode because Ciaran Franco can't keep his wee potty mouth closed. Flip's sake. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this episode of the Dolecast with Ciaran Franco and Adam Byrne.
Dolecast, 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 Dolecast.
You excited for the live podcast? Oh,
there's a wee poster for it as well.
Shout out to one person that isn't in the company.
my dad got me that for Christmas, and then I was like, and then he paid for all the flyers as well.
Stuff tight or like tighter?
He got me other stuff, but he paid for all the flyers as well. And then I was like, I'm gonna have to pull this gig here, and I'm like, I was like, he's probably a good, I don't know, good luck of money.
My brother got me a pen once.
Your brother got you a pen for Christmas?
It said to the best brother, like one of them signature pens that like bankers sign with. He's like, "Can I get me a case of beer or something?"
Yeah.
Like,
Is that it?
yeah, like, can I get me like a bottle of rum or something?
My brother got me a packet of squashies for Christmas this year. That is like
My ex-girlfriend got me Lindt chocolate dip. Didn't ask for it.
I didn't know
Just
they
dip it in.
Hey, I didn't know they did dip.
Yeah. My sister got me a lockbox and a bath mat when I moved out, and I was like, cheers. And I was like, why do you need a lockbox? She was like, so you're living in shared accommodation? I was like, right. Never used it once.
Was this for uni?
No, just when I sporadically moved to Belfast for a year. It was weird.
When was that?
Oh, when I first started comedy, man, it was a bad time.
Did you have roommates or was it just you?
Yeah, just two random guys.
Jeffrey Dahmer used to always call him.
Yeah.
Used to do a bit about him.
Oh, but, like,
Was it weird?
I did a bit, and then I milked it to death. Like,
Yeah.
you think you've heard everything about Texas? Well, you've.
Yeah. His roommate, I knew the guy.
Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah, but
Whereabouts in Belfast were you living?
Botanic, just 28 Walsley Street.
Above a brothel.
Yeah,
Was it above brothel?
Yes, yeah, and like I think not that this is an issue if we're live. They were all trans people because like
People you were sharing with?
no the sex workers
the brothel. Okay.
because they were like 6 foot Brazilians with like big Adam's apples, big legs.
Nothing wrong with it, boy.
Yeah, too right. You need a lockbox, like. Keep that on the cover, but
Oh, and then an Indian guy lived with me for 2 weeks and he got evicted. This does sound very racist. But
what was he doing?
this is gospel, okay? So I went to, like, he had like the viewing, and he brought, I know word of a lie, he brought 8 people into the house with him. I was like, it's a bit mad. And then
8 other Indians?
Yep, right, just to view the house, and I was like, oh, a bit strange. He called Ashwin, shout out to him, and still have his number. And I was like, remember coming downstairs, and I was like, this is really weird. Outside his room, there's different styles of shoes. So there'd be Nike shoes, but then there'd be leather, like men's shoes.
Yeah.
There'd be gentlemen's shoes.
Yeah.
But there'd be all different sizing of shoes. I went into the bathroom one day to get a shower, dead ass, and Indian dad was just getting a shower. And then I rang the landlord, and he was like, Adam, there was about 10 fellas living in that one room.
What the f***? Seriously?
Seriously?
A gospel, yeah.
So
They were all using the one room just to f***ing chill out.
Chill out, yeah.
Fair play to them. Like.
And it was £470 a month as well.
That is insanity. I'd be out of there straight away, like.
It was mad. He actually said to me, he's like, I can let you break your lease and all, you can go home. And I was like, nah, it's fine.
Well, because you've had to go through this, like.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
mental. I've had like weird flatmates, like, but like no one to that like. To be fair, the girl when I lived in Spain, I've never mentioned that before.
When did you live in Spain?
2019. The girls I live with, I was ringing my dad going, they're awful. And what actually happened was that I was shaving my in the sink, and then they were messaging me being like, clean this.
Can you
like,
stop?
Yeah, and I'm like, when they shut the tire on the party boy. Party boy 69.
How long were you in Spain for?
9 months, but it was a gift. Like I was actually like every night you'd be out and you'd go watch football and you'd have a few drinks and all, and then you'd get up to being a wee rascal, and then you'd come home and it would be
Shave your in the sink.
yeah, and they were like, there was 2 bathrooms, and eventually they just sort of caved and said, "This is your bathroom."
Unreal.
This
So you and a bunch of girls?
me and 3 girls. One of them was
Oh,
from
Casa de Franco, like,
one of them's
unreal.
From, one of us from Colombia, and the other 2 were French. I remember one time, I got absolutely destroyed. Came in, locked the door, locked the latch, and I just passed out on the sofa. And apparently she was outside for 4 hours. ringing the buzzer. I was just passed out sleeping. Gail, she was called. Gail, yeah. And apparently I woke up, opened the door, and went, get the f*** in then. And went straight back to sleep. But I had no memory of this. So for like 6 weeks, I was like, why is she not talking to me? And I could never figure out like why she was annoyed.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Tell Dan how you used to go to your uni lectures.
Oh yeah, because it was like 20 degrees, but it was still in December. So all the Spanish.
Were you in Spain in uni?
Yeah, I was studying history and stuff.
Right, okay.
But I'd like show up to uni in like a Hawaiian shirt and shorts, like Dennis from
Neely.
Jurassic Park. Yeah,
Literally Dennis Neely. Can of barber so whatever.
they're all in like jumpers because it's their winter, and I'm in a fucking Hawaiian shirt, like, and giving serious answers about the British Empire, and they're all like
Unreal.
By the way, Spanish exams. I done English literature and history there, and the exam was match the date to the event that happened, and then I was like, "Is that it?" And they went, "Yeah, you can go." And I was like,
How long was the exam?
like 2 hours. It was like that, and it was like, who said this quote? And it was the other one like, we hate Jews. It was like, well, I'll be Hitler, like,
Yeah.
and like it was the easiest exams ever, like, and then
That's like second year
That's like-
Christmas exams.
that's
like.
like
yeah,
AQE
it was-
stuff.
That's mental.
I think if I did an AQE now, I'd get full marks.
No, I wouldn't. I can
Comprehension?
still remember what I
Oh.
got in my GL. Shout out to Catholics.
What was the GL? Like,
So the AQE was like the Protestant version. You had to pay for it, and then the GL was the Catholic one.
oh, right.
Was yours still the 11 plus when you?
yeah, done the 11 plus. And it was
So I done it in Rathmore because my sister went to Rathmore. So I took on the pressure of like, I'll go to Rathmore. I didn't. I got 25 out of 50 in my maths and then 25 out of 50 in my English. So yeah, I only did it
bang
because
on the mark.
yeah, didn't pass. Like my dad was all like, "I'll buy you a game if you do it." Got the new Call of Duty.
So yeah, that was mine. I got Pokemon cards right on it, and then it was like,
I got.
where are they now? Like, you know,
Do you know what I got for passing the AQE? Force Awakens had just come out in cinemas. I got a full big Kylo Ren lightsaber.
I feel
the real
old.
one?
Like,
When you moved it, it made a big sound.
but that was 10 years ago.
I would, yeah, 10 years ago. So
I
I
was
would
in
have been.
fourth year, so you were P7.
I would have been
That's-
10. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was in upper sixth. Just
You were upper sixth when I was 10. Whoa, I feel like I'm being groomed.
what a weird friendship.
I know. I know.
That's the fun thing about comedy. Like
Yeah.
even who's also like there's Talal. Talal's genuine
35.
35.
Yeah.
I have no business being any mates with Tal in any way, shape, or form.
Like I know everything about that man.
We after Talal's gig the other week, we were walking into McDonald's and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get the Minecraft meal." He turned to me and was like, "Sometimes I think like we've loads of common, and then like you say things like that." There's such a huge.
It shows the age
age
difference.
gap.
Yeah. Because it's like Alan Irwin, we would talk quite a lot like about, and like he, sometimes I need advice or something out there, but then sometimes the advice Alan gives me is too mature.
Yeah.
Like sometimes Alan's like, think of your head, not your head. And I'm like, nah, it's not cool enough, but
I need to break a few doors before I enter them.
yeah. And he's like, what's the point of me giving you this advice if you're just gonna go?
See, I only found out Owen Sloan the other week wasn't like I thought he was like a year older than me.
No, Sloan was the year below me in school.
And what is he now? Like 27?
Yeah, so
He's like 26.
yeah,
What the flip? Like
I know.
Like I'm 24. Soupy's 28.
that's the most crazy one
Yeah,
to me.
should be yeah,
And Jack McGee's what 32.
32. Yeah, I was at Jack's 30th, like in
That is-
Nico's Pizza.
Jack's 12 years older than me.
Yeah.
What age was Jack then when I was 10? 22.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Jack's older than me now than
Damn.
I had my
I would've been
second
at 10.
ever gig with Jack, and I remember like I'd recognized him from like the TikToks and all. I knew in your head you go, this is the guy, and like Jordy as well. I like at Jordy in my head as this massive celebrity. I didn't do like I wasn't like asking him for photos outside Albury's or anything out there. But like in my head, I was like, "This is the guy," and just being so weird around him. And then he was like, "Do you want to come around to mine and play FIFA?" And I was like, "The guy's better." And then, like, you saw me getting accosted by a load of smicks when I was trying to watch June, and I was like, "Leave me alone."
Yeah, I was trying to get tickets, and the guy said something like, "Here, lad, you do a comedy and all. I love your stuff." And he was like,
I was sitting there.
"Cheers, thanks very much." And I was like, because I was like about to like get into it, because I was like a few weeks away from going to Madden's.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll say something, because I think we followed each other on Instagram. I was like, I'll say something to this guy here.
You annoyed me when I first met you.
Understandable. What did I do?
I don't know. It was just your presence. Do you know what it is? You remind me so much of myself when I was 20.
I've said that to me before.
Yeah.
What did you know? 25?
24.
24.
25th of July.
Hey, July
Hey.
19th, be there.
Yeah.
What's there? My birthday. Okay, we're going to have it down at the Beehive. Tickets are available on Eventbrite.
Fucking we are.
Here's 70% sold out.
Last of the early bird tickets.
Yeah, the early bird 2 for 1's the f***ing discount.
Flip's sake.
The Christmas gift ones, like, I'm running out of stuff to say.
Don't get me started. Like, we're doing Limelight in June.
Hey,
Yeah, area
what do you think?
people need to come to that because I don't know. If not, you know, it'll be
I'm giving
cancelled.
up. Like, yeah. Can't cancel
if
2 gigs in a year.
if that is cancelled, we'll be the laughing stock of the scene.
Yeah.
They'll go, look at the boy.
Oh yeah, look at the B team.
Yeah, can't even get a fucking gig on. So please come.
Or here, we're running out of ideas. That's all I'm going to say. We're running out of ideas, so this doesn't work.
So yeah,
Unreal. No, I'm dead excited. Like,
Yeah, it should be good.
I thought that was a Swiss knife. I was like, what are you
No.
doing?
it is essentially a deadly weapon. My car keys let me drive out in a car.
Shout out
Even
to
today.
Siobhan.
Yes. Fucking hell, I've nearly crashed about 40 times. Like yesterday, I was driving Tiff to a gig, and I was going around a roundabout, and I was like, I don't really know which lane I'm going to be in, and she just sort of looked at me. I was like, straight on.
What was it? Oh, Antrim. Yeah.
I crashed on a roundabout to Etta James at last.
What?
You know that song At Last by
Oh,
Etta
yeah.
James? I crashed into a car, but I full on panicked. And me being me, I Kaiser Sosade my way out of the situation. She was like, what the fuck? And I was like, I pretended to have a panic attack. She's like, oh my God, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay.
When I first passed my test, my ex-girlfriend lived in Antrim, and I was driving to her house and was trying to get used to like going to her house without using the map, like just going off road signs. And was too busy looking at the road signs and didn't see a massive roundabout in front of me and just like drove on top of the roundabout. Like,
That's really common. I've heard a lot
like,
of people driving on top of roundabouts.
crazy. Like, and I pulled in, being I started working for Every. I hit a plant pot 2 days ago, drove on, no bother.
As long as you didn't tip the van and
Run the
kill three
pit.
sheep.
It is like the worst guy I've ever met in my life is Philip from the Lauren DVLA GDPR. Right? Like, I genuinely thought he was going to spark me out on the. It was my 4th test, and I was like, I was going around the roundabout. He was, look at your mirrors, and I was like, see you big Protestant. I've never, you know, like, obviously you can tell someone's black, someone's Indian. You can't tell someone's Protestant. Like, they just have a look about them.
Yeah, oh yeah. You've got a leg sleeve, I said. This
Do I have
Protestants love a leg sleeve.
do I have a Protestant look about me?
Nah,
Not even.
non-denominational look.
Taking a very quick break from this episode of the podcast to tell you that I have started a new podcast with the producer of this show, the Dolecast. The new podcast is called Pod Culture. Me and Aaron are chatting every week about pop culture, movies, TV shows, nerd stuff, comic book news, whatever it is. Not so much comic book, I don't really read comic books, but whatever it is, we've got it. We're talking about it all over there. The first episode is up at the time of recording, but at the time of this releasing, there'll be multiple episodes up, so please go over there and have a watch of that. It comes out every Monday/Tuesday, depending on what days we record, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, so the link to that will be in the description. It's audio only. It's Spotify, Apple Podcast, audio exclusive, so enjoy that, and yeah, thank you.
So sometimes you can spot a Protestant comedian in Madden's because they're ever so slightly comfortable. There's a guy, and he came down to Madden's once, sat in the crowd, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna. He had his name down, and I was like, you have to go up in 2, and he went, nah, I'm just not gonna do it anymore, and then just left, and he still hearts all my stuff on Facebook, but
You ever done a gig, sis?
no, but all his stuff is going to bonfires and all,
Class.
so I don't know whether he was like.
Class. A Catholic walks into a bar, but he doesn't walk out of it. Am I right, guys?
my mum loves the 12th. Like, lives
Does
for
it? Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Like, she wouldn't. Well, every year she make a point to like, I want to drive down to see the bonfires. Like every single year, no bother.
I went to the 11th once when it was so scary, but everybody knew me in Lisburn, and they were like, it was Ballinamacash's bonfire, and I go, what are you doing here? You're the comedy guy, and I went, yeah, I'm not laughing now, like, and the whole time, all I could like. It's just this like aura of an underage girl getting fired by a 30-year-old man with Tina Turner playing in the background. Like, that's what the 11th is.
Is that what it is for you?
Yeah,
Basically,
I actually don't think I've ever gone out on the 12th.
you don't want to.
Just
Paddy's Day is better.
it's not my. I've been out Paddy's Day. I've been out on the 12th. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually did. Can I go on this podcast?
Are we actually still fully rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, right, shout out rolling.
I actually did. Can I go on this podcast?
How bad is it?
It's pretty bad,
I
but
can't
also
believe it.
yeah.
We're still on Queen's Radio, so all the swearing's bleep. But like,
Alright, no, my mate was at the 12 and he was out with someone and she had a shaved head and him and her went into bed and like just to go to sleep to get up. They were on the 11th, sorry, to get up for the next day, but he woke up in the middle of the night and she was giving him a because she had shaved the head. He woke up steaming before the guy was sucking. He was like, ah! He's like
Every
she
story.
shaved her head for like charity. Like he woke up being
really?
like,
Really?
like Stephen Graham or something from the Stickland.
Combo.
Yeah, and he was like, oh,
Unbelievable.
And then he said when he threw her out, he went back to sleep and pissed the bed. And he was like, "This is a disgrace." Like, I kind of as a kid, but
Oh,
Have
mate.
you ever pissed yourself steaming?
it used to happen. The worst was my brother was sleeping and he said he woke up to me just walking in his room and I was pissing in his laundry basket, and then my mum was like raging at me, like disgusted at me, and then the next day I thought that I came downstairs and was a cheese toastie sitting there, and I thought this is a peace offering. So I had it. It was like from my dad getting in from work. So like I was like so frustrated at everything that happened. I just turned around and kicked the kitchen door in, like because it's just overwhelmed. I've been dropped the night before as well, so there was a lot of hormones.
Nightmare.
Even though
Yeah.
I was like 20.
When I was in primary school, I fainted on stage and pissed my pants.
Stardom's made for you.
I know,
innit?
mate. And then
The stage.
the next day, I was in the choir at the time, at the deck, wet myself. Next day, some guy came up to me and was like, "Here, lad, what was the was that like? What was the juice like around you? Like some sort of liquid?" And I went, "Oh, just like when you faint, like mad sweat comes out of you." He's like, "Wait,
Here, speaking of fainting, I don't care. She won't. Well, she probably will. Like, but I was with Sports Mix last night.
yeah,
If you know what I mean.
a female friend of yours, yeah."
Female friend of mine, and so she does law, and she like works for like I don't know the government doing law. Some I'm not listening to all that, right?
Yeah.
But she was in this lecture in Ulster, and it was like it was a room like this here. It was like there was 20 people in it. There wasn't a window, no aircon or nothing. And I was texting her. I was like, right, I'm outside, and she's like, I've just fainted, like full on fainted in this lecture, and 2 security guards caught her, and she woke up, and she was like, ugh, like literally yesterday.
When was the last time I fainted? I hit the deck. For like one of the first times I met my girlfriend's family, I hit the deck and woke up and like this
Is
guy
it
was
like-
like holding my face, being like,
You got epilepsy or something?
No, I've probably fainted like 8 or 9 times, like throughout my life.
Really?
But like it's so sporadic, like it's
Have you ever got tested for epilepsy?
no. I nearly there was a while back that I was like, it was happening really frequently, not even frequently, but like I fainted once and then for like months after. Like there was one night in Madden's, I was like, I'm gonna hit the deck right now, not on stage. It was right before I was gonna go on. I remember you like. I was at the stad and you were emceeing and I was going to be like, I'm going to faint right now. And
That's
then
insane.
God.
just kicked in like,
That would be
Six.
the worst thing to happen to Madden's.
Save that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. Just save that for the B team.
yeah,
Just faint
fun and
on
other
stage.
stuff. Yeah.
But like, it is. I used to have like, not anymore, but like constantly have like panic attacks on nights out, which would be ridiculous because I would just be sitting at like.
I get so overstimulated like
Yeah,
in
just,
Belfast.
especially during lockdown, I'd be sitting in someone's gaff and everyone's having the crack. I'm like, 2 seconds, guys, and I just walk into the bathroom and boke everywhere. And then come out, like, I'm good to go. And like even it used to always happen on the like before dates as well. I'd like be like hyping myself up for a date, and I get so in my own head about it that I would be on the date. And be, I just gotta go to the bathroom a second and boke, and then she'd come out and be like, "Why are you so sweaty?" Like,
You strike me as the guy that loves to chase.
Oh, here. That's
Bradley Walsh.
Yeah.
Bradley Walsh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the beast. He's going to end up marrying his cousin.
Oh, flip right enough.
Yeah, it is mad.
That's a bit
What's
weird.
your favourite, like, quiz show?
Big fan of the chase.
But Chase, just undisputed. I always remember my science teacher was on it, and I made an absolute helmet of himself. Didn't get a single answer right, and he was like, "Oh, John, what would you do if you win the money?" And he's like, "Learn how to swim. Let our school down. We're already monks." Honest to God, lad.
I don't know. I think if I was asked, I would go chase. But like, I wanted to do Ninja Warrior, but like I'd make a show of myself. Like,
Total wipeout.
Total wipe. I'd
Just
be
me
all
off
in.
my head and what about Shine? Total wipeout.
I'd beat anybody.
I would like the Shine. I used to love like when I was like 19, 20, going to like Shine, AVA, stuff like that there, and like just remember like at the AVA 2018. I was like, this is the one I'm gonna push it to the max. Like I'm gonna really take it here to the next level. And I remember like just bicep were on, and I've never like my mates describe it as like an M16 of vomit, like just all over people. Like we guys going, what the f-? And like just could not stop. And then like I was like trying to move out of the way, but then people were going like, what the f-? And it was it was really horrific. Like
Me and mine, I think it was after, must have been after Bell Sonic or something, and I was quite young at times, maybe 13, He's a few years older than me. I was like, well, what was last night? And he was like, genuinely, I'm not. He's like, I'm not even spoofing. Like, to try and sound cool, I guess 40 wee girls. And I was like, that is.
I still count my mates. I have a spreadsheet.
Actually, do you hear something mental? See, when I was in school, I actually did keep a list.
Oh, my mate Andy actually did have a spreadsheet, and he called me in. There was like unknown ginger, unknown, like if girls he kissed at like pre-forms, but he didn't have their name. It was name pending, blonde hair, highlights.
I had when I went on the lads' holiday, I used to note down like, right, Liverpool girl 1, Liverpool girl 2.
L1, L5. Choose a life, not a knife.
Yeah.
Have you strike me as a guy that's been to a few lads' holidays? Apart from Amsterdam.
Amsterdam was my first and Poland was my second.
Oh.
Is that the only 2 lads' holidays you
Yep.
know?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have thought you would have been all over them.
Oh, yeah, you'd think, but lad, not in a bad way. Like, I used to have a lot of friends, and then they all just switched up with me and started doing stand-up. I'd like to go on holidays with yous, but
Donegal 2025.
here we will be there.
I find myself arguing a lot with my mates on holidays more.
Well, that's
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
So it might just be because you've been mates with him for such a long time. I could never, and I'm not even being a lick, I could never imagine myself having a serious argument with yous two, Soupy, Jack, Talal, or you know what I mean. I could never imagine that.
Mate, I went on a lads' holiday this year to.
You watched the man die as well.
Yeah, I was crazy. But then, like last night, me and this other guy had it out for like probably an hour and a half. Like genuinely, like everybody gathered in the one room. I mean, this guy went at it for like genuinely like it went on for another half an hour, and then the power went out in the villa, like all just cut out. And we were like, so like that kind of shifted the focus away from what was going on. And I was like, Love Island, man. I was like, here, man, can I speak to you outside? And like we had a chat and like sorted it out. But then like I don't know, I just wouldn't do another one. Like they're going away this year. I said, no, I'm not.
Was your girlfriend strict when you were away, like, or like, because that's sort of what happened with
Wee
my mate.
tiny bit, not like
I
not in a
couldn't
bad
imagine
way.
Tony being weird.
Not in a
That's
bad
it,
way.
yeah.
Just more like keeping tabs, being like, you alright?
Yeah,
He's
well,
like,
that's yeah.
you know.
Because like me and a mate, and it seems it's the same guy. We always fight on holidays and stuff, and it just gets to the point where like
Oh, yeah.
he's very serious, and I'm just getting quite wet-brained, and like he slapped me.
You're delinquent.
yeah,
You're delinquent in the minute.
Yeah, and he slapped me where my sunburn was, and I went F you and pushed him, and then like he took 2 steps back and went, oh, my knee, like that there, and like he still to this day, that was 2018, says that I've dislocated his knee and it's never fully recovered, so it's stunted his football career. And like
Beast.
Yeah. You want to talk about knees?
yeah, so he's like, oh, and like he said like it wasn't even being on holiday with Ciaran, it was being on holiday with a completely different person, no. And I'm like,
You still miss this guy?
oh yeah, he's my best pal, like, but like we just like even like Adam rang me on Friday night, right?
Yeah.
And answered the phone, and I came back, and we were talking about a girl, and he was like, I went off with, and then he was like, oh, have you told all your wee comedy mates about her and all? He goes, are you still obsessed or something? Like, and then it just led to this whole fucking argument in the
On
middle
Friday
of
night there?
Oh yeah, in the middle of Horatio Todd's, and I was like, mate, you're a fucking loser, like, and all. And it just went, and I go, Mr. Zero Hinge matches or something like that. And I was like, and then obviously like. When we
Good mates, yeah.
yeah. And then the next day we went to the gym and had a good time together, and it was like all settled.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
because like in my head we had a really bad argument in Cambodia where it actually turned into like scrapping, and like the next day it was sweet, but I'm like that needs to stop. Like we can't be at our kids' christenings and
Fighting.
I'm
Fighting.
I'm
Throwing
slagging
babies,
him,
aye.
calling him Oswald Cobblepot and stuff because he looks like him, and like it's like
Me and Aaron have had a few arguments, like there's only been a couple of times where it's like we're not speaking to each other for a few days, but like
Yeah.
it's been.
Nah, my like, because I used to be mates with all these people. Did I ever tell you the story of like whenever I knew that I had to stop being mates with my childhood best friends? We were 18 in the Weatherspoons in Lisburn, right? And there was about 10 of us, and one of them, the group leader, randomly just went, if you could pick one person in our friendship to die, who would you pick? And all of them, bar one of them, said me. And I was just there, and I coincidentally like was in hospital. Like I got really, really sick at like liver issues and stuff, and all. And they were like, "Oh, Adam, we feel so guilty." And I was like, "It wasn't your fault." And they're like, "No, but we all wished you were dying." And then you're in hospital, and I was like, "I need to stop being mates with these people."
That's
like,
genuinely.
that'll
Yeah.
break my heart, like.
yeah, it's
That is genuinely nuts. Like,
yeah.
So your mates, like, 'cause the mates I'm with mates with now, aren't the guys I was mates with in school. 'Cause
Yeah.
the mates I was, you get to a point where you're like, right, we're leaving school. I don't really need to be as good mates with them. Because they're absolute fucking headers, and we're going to a house party, and the wee girl went to Tesco to get more drink, and they took her dog and put it in the ma's drawer, like where the ma's fucking knickers were. So the ma got home, opened their drawer, and a fucking dog came out. And it was like,
That's so cruel.
yeah, and I was like, I don't want to be part of this. Like,
Yeah. We are sponsored by Go Barbecue Co. Go Barbecue Co. stands for Great Outdoors Barbecue Company. These guys are unbelievable. They have the best in outdoor heaters, stoves, pizza ovens, barbecues. They have rubs, they have tools, anything you need for the summer barbecue season. We're coming into it now after you've got your tickets for B Team. Before you go to see B Team, you know, a couple of hours before you go to Limelight, you'll have a big cookout with a grill from Go Barbecue Co. They have the best brands, best gear. I've been down, I've seen it with my own eyes. They know what they're doing. They're switched on to it. So if you're getting anything this summer for the barbecue, it's got to be from these guys. If you don't want to spend loads of money, even with their discounted prices that you can find on the Instagram page, then you could go to Go Barbecue Loud Raffles and buy a raffle ticket for the price of a flat white, and you could walk away with thousands of pounds worth of gear. Seems too good to be true, probably is. But yeah, thanks very much to Go Barbecue Co. for sponsoring the podcast. Same group of lads I've been on holiday with twice, and like, there's one guy in particular who, like, I think is a great laugh, but it's because he's just like the worst person ever.
oh yeah, I love people like that.
Yeah, they're like, he's just like I've said before. Like, you quote me, like, he's morals on par with Hitler. Like, he would he would just throw you under the bus for nothing. Like, but he's one of the best guys ever to be around.
Yeah,
if the
it's
joke's
like,
not on you,
They're my favorite people. Like, my friend Craig, I hyped him up and hyped him up to like all these girls in Spain. I was like, this guy is the real deal. Yeah. You're going to love him and all. And he arrived and just started, as soon as he arrived, one of them was ginger.
Scumbag.
And he went, what the f*** state of you, Bianca from EastEnders? And it was like, straight at the gate. Yeah. And he kept singing, like, because they're all from like Dublin or Donegal. And he kept singing like really like hardline loyalist songs at them. And I was killing myself laughing. Yeah. And when he left, I was like, was he not the best guy ever? And they were like, he was horrible.
Worst, like, he like, for example, like, we used to play football on Friday nights when we were still in school. Like, we book out like the 4G, the 3G, and 4G gets bars and service, and he would organise it, and he would just blatantly like be like, oh, it was X amount of money, and then he'd pocket like 20 quid.
Unbelievable.
But like, when then we'd phone up and be like, how much is it, right enough, and then be like, this price, and we're like, well, why are you telling us it's this? He'd be like, but I'm organising, like, for the cash me made. Like, that's just not how it works.
That's a hustler. What's he doing now?
He studying finance or something.
So he I don't want to narrow it down too much, but basically he works in our old school, and he also works as part of the Ulster rugby team.
Oh, good reputation. Best people to work for.
Yeah,
he's like a.
Does he play rugby still?
Yeah. Oh, he's just one of those guys. Like, his LinkedIn profile is just like. He's just
messer.
Yeah.
There's a guy working at House of Fraser, and this girl came up to him and went to him, where's the cash bags to cash up? And he goes, I'd love to kick you in the fucking head, you know that? And like, what? And then like, he used to do this, like, I remember he like our boss asked him, like, he had a case up against our boss, so they couldn't sack each other basically. Okay. And our boss asked him something, and he goes, what do you want from me? Shop, and like a gay man like went, come here, I want to ask you about this rug, but he went like this here, and he goes, don't you ever summon me.
My old job, we used to work in Centra, and the assistant manager had like a real power complex, like a real like, I'm the boss.
Always doing like we spars and
you're like, wise up. And but he was big into airsoft, and he would
Is his name Ethan Gray?
No. Oh. Is he big into airsoft?
Yeah, but I called him Ethan Gay, and I just changed the whole dynamic of my friendship with him.
This guy was big into airsoft and big into like reptiles and like but hard drives. So he had tarantulas and all this stuff, and he'd always be like, he was trying to look cool, like he was probably in his 30s, but he always used to act cool like around the young ones, being like, here, do you want like my tarantula, like shredded skin and everything. And then one day he was like, here, I have this mad bruise from airsoft, do you want to see it? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, because I was like, he might let me away early. He whipped this phone round, just him, no clothes on, arse out, big bruise like on his chest. But I was like, I was probably 16, 17 at the time, and I was like,
it's a bit inappropriate.
But then it would come to lock it up, and he didn't have a car, so he cycled everywhere. But he used to put like cheetah lycra on, like before he left, and put his goggles on, like, you know, like Green Goblin and No Way Home.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, to cycle home.
Airsoft is something that should be cool, but it's just
It's
played
not,
by
yeah.
losers. Yeah,
I'd love to do
Yeah,
airsoft.
it's good crack, but it is like it'll be like a stag do, and then it'll be people that get supervised visits with their kids there that spend £600 on a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just losers.
They we should all do airsoft
We all
comedians
should.
airsoft.
as a B team promo. I don't know. We should do a load of different B team promos.
Or you could just buy tickets.
That-
and it would be,
buy tickets.
yeah, that would be.
You have no idea. Me and him were in the trenches on Tuesday night. It was
Chatting
good
like
crack.
a
What was
do
Tuesday
promo.
night?
We got
Oh,
headshots
Dean.
done with Dean. Shout out Dean McCullough.
Oh,
A
unbelievable.
French studio, the
friend.
best photographer in town, but me, funny bastard. Like, yeah.
Really? Just
Like I was getting changed, and he just what was it? He goes,
He turned around and goes, "Whoa, I looked at the wrong time." It's like,
and he was sitting telling us about. We were like, he was like, "Yeah, I've been told not to do ketamine." We were like, "Why?" And he was like, "My brain's just too crazy." And here's the worst thing. He goes, "We sort of like, what have you done?" He's like, "I've done cocaine, but I prefer Red Bull."
I have met him, I think, once or twice, and I didn't realize it was him. And then I was like, "He's a cool guy."
oh, he's the goat. Like,
He's
it's
the goat.
like I'm a wizard with a camera.
Yeah.
He literally just has, and I mean this not in a bad way, no social cues in the sense of like he's the sort of person you'd be at his wake, at like your ma's wake, and he'd be like, "She's f***ing lazy," you know what I mean? Just lying there.
I was trying to plan my wedding yesterday and my stag and be like, right, who would I take? And I was like, Talal Jamar, first name down on the stag
Yeah.
list. 100%.
Oh,
It's like my mum's like, if you ever got married, which is highly unlikely, you need to have your brother as your best man.
My
But
mum
I'm
said
like-
this, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, nah, because like it's nothing to do with being gay or anything. Like, but like he wouldn't plan a good stag do.
Yeah.
Like he'd plan like cheese eating or something. That sounds like a euphemism.
I'd
but-
probably have Aaron as my best man.
Yeah.
Then a fear for the stag that he planned. Do you know what I mean?
mine would probably have to be.
movie house.
Yeah, booked it out.
Mine would probably have to be Big Shay or Cahill, and they're not the two best people to go off on.
What one's Big Shay?
Do you know the one that was in the green room with us eating
Oh, on
chicken
Friday
so
night?
smacked down?
Mate, like that's another time of like, you ever just especially doing stand up, like you just have these kind of outer body experiences
Yeah.
of like what's going on
Just
right now.
eating
Yeah.
fried chicken in the
Sitting
upstairs
eating-
the OES centre. It's weird.
Burning lemon and pepper
Yeah.
wing it in the upstairs.
And you've met Shay, and he goes, "Me, but yeah, it's f***ing stinking." They're spitting it out now.
See, man, like you end up in weird, like even like when I first started, like a comedian, can you be driving with him, and he was like making me rap on the way to Derry, and I was like, bro, I just want to know my material, and he was like, no, you need to rap. It helps get the rhythm going in your
serious?
pronunciation. I spurred so I had no time to practice my material because he was having me at the back of chicken box rapping, and I'm like, and then obviously I must have been that good because he,
Raging?
yeah,
Oh, here, loves you. He's a big fan of you.
yeah.
Yeah, big fan. I've never met him actually. But I'm thinking, Sippy was saying about doing like a come dine with me thing.
Yeah, well, he's soup in the brain. Just
Yeah.
food. He's big back at it.
He loves it. Like
He does.
he told me he'd get me on to Too Many Cooks, but then I don't know what to make.
Philly cheesesteak. I asked him to make like
Oh,
a proper
that'd be
old
good.
I was gonna say a proper New York Philly cheese, a proper Philly cheesesteak from Philly, like chopped cheddar, loads of pepper sauce,
Yeah.
toilet roll in the fridge. You know,
Does that actually work?
I've never
I'd
tried
love
it
to do it.
in Vietnam, there were quite a few times my hole was bleeding, and I was I need to go to the doctors. Like, yeah,
I've got a bidet in my house.
What do you mean?
Do you know what a bidet
should I
is?
got a BJ? Just straight in.
Yeah, he's like, what?
Got a BJ waiting for me. Gotta get it. I'm on the clock here.
My
What's
dad's just a fucking strange guy, and when he got the house, he's like, "I want a bidet," and my man's like, "What?"
Me and your dad literally did a podcast at Lavery's. It was us for like
Oh.
an hour and a half.
See my dad, like see if you speak to my dad about like gym, he'll tell you a guy knows gym exercises, favorite gym, worst gym. Like he'll just go into it. My dad gives live demos anywhere. See if you're like, oh, I'm in the kettlebell crunches, and he's like, right, what you want to do is, and just go, and you'll start basically shadow boxing like all exercises.
It got to the stage we started off talking about it. He was like, "Oh, what do you do with yourself?" And then by the time the conversation finished, the last topic was gym.
Do you know what's mad about my dad? Has a stutter, does not give a fuck. You know what I mean? He's like, you're going to listen to him story. This 5 minute story might take 20 minutes. I call him Uncle Colin from Dairy Girls, like, because he'll get really in depth.
Jim the Radiator.
Oh, he loves it. He loves it. He used to go up into I done dailies. He was in the green room sitting talking to Colin Murphy, and he goes, "Well, Colin, you busy these days?" I'm like, "What are you doing?"
That's such a crossover. Like,
Just a strange guy.
That's bad.
He
He's
went
so
down
solid.
to the pav one night after like all the stuff with my man. He was like, "I need to get down to fill the head." And John Wayne Gacy was there.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Wait, the person that said that or
Yeah.
the actual one?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. And he was like, Adam, I had to stop myself from jumping off that stage and beating the out of that silly. So how do you do that every week, Adam?
There's certain gigs that are so bad that going in, you're like, right, this is going to be fine.
As in, like, doesn't matter what happens.
Yeah. Like there was one in Tyrone, and Talal had booked me for a gig, and I was going to try and double up, but I didn't drive at the time. And in my head, I was like, I'll be able to do it. I'll figure out some way to get across. And then it was like I basically said to Talal, I can't do this one because I'm doing the other one. It pays more. And then I arrived, and the guy was like, listen, we've had a couple of our sponsors pull out, so I can only pay you like a quarter of what you're meant to get. And then Talal messaged me being like, this gig's class. Like the one Talal organised, Aaron McCann was on, and Aaron McCann was enjoying himself that much. He went, boy man, I didn't expect to be enjoying this. Can you fire me on a Guinness? And like a boss move, like
On stage?
Yeah.
Unreal.
And then like meanwhile, me, Sean Haggerty, Sean 𝐒𝐿𝐂𝐋𝐒, the only people I can remember, and the guy running it, and there's about 12 other acts, were all there, and you could just hear The Shining being played through the TV.
I remember you telling me this. Yeah.
And like Sean Haggerty got up on stage and went, "Here's Shawnee." But it took that long to get around us that like me and Haggerty had time. Like I think Haggerty had time to go and sit in his car for 45 minutes and then come back in, go back out to his car. Like it was like the night just would not end.
I just I don't know. I was talking to Aaron. I was like, mate, you need a license to organise a comedy gig like these days.
Oh no! All you need is an event by profile. Honestly, it's mental.
It's too right, but
What
like
about-
there should be a sort of like, right?
'Cause if
Have you got all these things, or else like it's people's time at the end of the day as well.
Yeah.
Like
If you die at that gig that's organised by and it's not a good, well organised gig, the guys who organise it as well are sometimes like, oh well, he was crap on the night. It's like, no, you set it up for failure.
I hate that there where like people will say, especially in passing. I've probably, if it hasn't been said to me, like people be like, I seen X, Y, and Z, and he wasn't great, and I was like, where did you see them? It was like, oh, this GAA club up in Fermanagh. Like, that doesn't actually count as a
you
gig.
need to go to
like.
a proper gig. Yeah. I find it so cool when comedians like you're saying about McCann there, they can just be like, oh, I'm just gonna do more jokes that I haven't planned. Like in my head, like my set's my set, and when I'm done, like I've nothing. Like I would struggle to be like, right, what other joke should I tell now?
But it's like
on the fly, if that makes sense. Like I'd have to have that planned out in my head. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what it is? It's experience. It's like
that's it.
Yeah, like so. Ciaran, you're 3 years. Are you nearly 4?
I'm 6 months. You started 6 months exactly after me.
Yeah.
So
So lads, see, it's weird. It's like it's like 2 years in, everything sort of slowly is maybe clicking a wee bit more.
Yeah.
And then you get more confident, and then you're just like, fuck it, I've got this concept in my head. But it's one of those ones, like I'm still in that thing where I'm like, the room has to be like so good for me to just go up and and I have to already be having a good one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think in my head, I'd be like, my thought process of it would be like, if I'm having a great one and my set's done, I wouldn't then want to ruin it by then being like, hey, we'll try this, and then it dies in a toll, and you're like,
welcome.
I should have known. That should have. I've gone too far there. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there's things where we're like, the flip side to that coin, we quote from Heath there, is like, if I arrive at a gig and everyone's like, oh, this has been shit, or it's gonna be shit, I sometimes immediately get deflated and I'm defeated before going on stage.
Yeah.
Like there was a gig we all done. I think we all done it on the same night in November, December time.
Yeah.
And I came from another gig and everyone was like, this is shit. And I was like, for fuck's sake. Like, and I got up. I think I was booked to do like 15. I done like 7. I was like, And like, and I shouldn't have done that. Like, but I was just, you immediately arrived defeated. Like,
But the thing on that night was, it was just the people organising it just couldn't have been ours. It was more like we're putting this on because we're cool sort of thing. Like it was just an ego project.
I think for me, that gig, again, it's sometimes people put on gigs for the sake of putting on a gig. Do you know what I mean? Where like, you know, I think that night in particular, sometimes I like nights like that because there's very little pressure on you, if that makes sense. Like I actually enjoyed my time on stage that night because in my head I was so built up of like, this is gonna be horrific. And then the guy came up to me and sippy after. I think you might have been there.
Yeah,
I went after him and said, I was like,
you left, but me and Sippy were standing there. This guy came up to us and he gave you a proper compliment. He was like, fantastic. He turned to me and Sippy and went, you two, keep going at it. And then he was like, he turned to Sippy or something and he was like, oh, do you have a caravan? Sippy was like, no, but like, I obviously know what a caravan is. And he spoke to me and Sippy about caravans for probably 15 minutes. And then he was like, so what's in your wee notebook there? And like, so he was like, oh, it's all my jokes. And he was like, open it. And so he was like, right, see you later, goodbye. And hit the road. You know, people just get too friendly sometimes as well.
Yeah, it's the you always hear like bigger acts saying it, where like people will just shout up to Colin being like, buy the blender like that there, and you're like, it's just a fucking person, like.
Yeah.
It's the old saying, sometimes a gig isn't a gig. Like, it's like, and I learned that the hard way. And like, bar, I was about to say it there, but the guy apparently gets really touchy if he hears you say it. He's in the walls. It's in Dundonald, like, and like as soon as we arrived, load of guys watching the World Cup, the Christmas World Cup. Germany were playing Spain. I remember it exactly in my head, and like they turned the TV off and just put Sean McAlevey on stage and Mike and went, "There's this wee guy, Sean McAlevey," and like none of these.
What do you
guys,
think's gonna happen? Like,
none of these guys had any idea that there was comedy on, like, and you've got Sean there being like, what do you do for a living? And the guy's like, I just came down for a Sunday pint to watch football, like.
Yeah. And I don't know, I just feel like it should be more of an event rather than just being like,
it's
boys
like
gonna tell jokes now.
You know what I mean? You should take it serious.
Filthy McNasty's was one where they ran a gig, and myself, Hegarty, and Luke were all booked, and we all came down, and we were like, how many tickets are sold? And they went, none. And I was like, what? And they went, we haven't sold a single ticket. And we were like, right, well, can we still get paid? And they went, if you do your sets, yeah.
See, part of me like, that sound terrific, but part of it was like, gift.
But like, I got up,
Do you know what I
and
mean?
there
Do
was
your
just a
set.
mic on the stage. Luke McGibbon got up, done, he was able to do about 10 minutes. He's done about 3 minutes. We're really going to bring on our first act. And I engaged on about 2 minutes maybe. And then, fair play to Hegarty. Hegarty done a full half an hour. And then,
get that coin, like,
yeah,
absolutely.
And they were like, that was amazing, though, and just giving us like free drinks. But I was like, everyone in this bar hates us, like.
Yeah. Because you're forced. There's nothing worse than comedy being forced on you.
Do you know, here, I tell you what the worst thing is about stand-up? Wireless mics. You're
Yeah,
not
there was one
Kanye
last
West.
night, yeah.
You're a dickhead talking about your mum and dad.
Was
being
last night
divorced.
wireless?
Yeah, it worked perfectly, like, but you don't feel as comfortable with it, like.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because they'll eventually break, and the sound guy will go, 1 second, try it there. And then it's like that weird thing for 5 minutes. You're like, just buy a microphone.
Get me an XLR. Yeah. 100%.
That was my head on.
100%. I don't know. But like, B team, I'm excited.
We love it.
I'm excited. I can't wait. Like, I don't know. It's probably more so for me because you boys have both done it before.
Do you know what it was? I got chucked out of Limelight my 18th birthday, and it felt so bittersweet being like, there's lifts here. Like actual lifts to get upstairs. And Ciaran near bought a car that night.
Yeah.
But it was such a cool night because it was like, that was my first like big gig in stand up, and then you got to meet Dave Elliott. I got my hair cut upstairs in Limelight and stuff.
Serious?
Yeah. And it was just like, I don't know, it was cool because like Johnny Bow was the person that got me in the stand up, because I'd known Johnny for years from working in the barber shops, and I was in getting my hair
Did you work in the barbershops?
Yeah, that's how I knew Cahill.
Did you cut hair?
Nah, I was just a bit.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. Like my first day at working with Cahill, how we became best mates was because it was like my first day at work experience. 16-year-old me didn't care. And he was like, if you mess about, I'm going to tell your school. They're going to go crazy. I was like, if you do that there, I'm going to tell my school you touched me. And it just came to me, and he was like, what the f***? We've besties ever since.
Good mates.
Yeah.
He loves it.
But yeah, with Johnny, he was like, went down and I was like, how do I start stand-up? Swore to God, he went, it'd be great for you to do it and everything, it's class. Text Luke McGibbon on Facebook, and yeah.
Here we are.
How do you get it? I actually have no idea how you got into it. Oh, well, I know you did the first.
Jody Best got you in, didn't he?
I knew the newcomers night, like, but
We done. I really want to do it, and there was like I was messaging pages, and then I done an improv thing, and like there was
you do an improv thing.
improv course because my mum, there was nothing. It was COVID.
Were you good at it?
And there was nothing. It was terrible. And like there was another guy who was also hating himself, and it was Ronan. And then like,
Oh, serious?
we both kind of like pulled each other, and we're like, we pulled each other, and we're like, listen, this is like really wet. This is like awful crack. And I was like, we went for a pint, and I was like, listen, I really want to do stand up, like, and he was like, I can help you out with it. And then I got done
Why
that
was he
newcomers
there?
competition. He must have also just been bored, but like we done that newcomers comp. I also remember the first day. It was a really warm day in summer, and I was wearing like a t-shirt. People were in shorts. And all. Ronan was sitting with his shirt completely open. It was like,
Ronan's the maddest guy I've ever met because he's normal. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's normal, but he is mad. Like,
yeah, and like The night before he'd done support for Geddes in like Bullhouse Brewery, in the actual brewery, and I was like, what the fuck, like? And so I went home and looked him up, and Geddes had like a video of Ronan talking, and I went, that's like, he's actually a pretty big guy. And then he booked me for Kill Your Darlings. Didn't just set a date to me. The poster came out. I wasn't on it. I was like, fuck.
I'm not getting on it.
So I booked a ticket, and I was like, I'll go down and watch it. But I went and got out the night before and got destroyed. Woke up hanging, and then a message came through about half an hour before the show started. It was Ronan going, hey mate, just come on into the back here, because it was in the big room because of COVID. He's like, we're all in the green room here. He goes, you still good to do 10 to 15? And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How long did you do?
I done about 7.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So then he was really nice, and then this woman came up to me and was like, what school do you work in? And I was like, I'm not telling you because I don't want to get in trouble. And she goes, no, don't worry, I'm not going to try and get in trouble. And she was being really lovely, and I was being like, no, I don't want to tell you, tell you. And she's like, right, okay, that's fine. She was like, I'm a comedian as well. I was just wondering. It was Teresa Livingston. And
serious?
I thought she was like a woman trying to get me in trouble for doing comedy. Like,
were you doing school material at the time?
yeah, I just started in the school. I was like a month into it. I started the school the same week I started comedy, like, and then. See,
do you get a lot of that in school?
Well, they all came to see me and stuff, and they're all really supportive of it. Like,
yeah.
The fact they were there last night, and I hope we didn't. One of the guys was there from the school. But yeah, no, it's an easy enough job to do, like, and it's
my
mad.
work loves me doing stand up. It's so weird. They're like, Adam, you've got a dream and you've got this place. We're supporting you.
Well, that's kind of how I do all the stuff at Movie House.
Yeah.
Is there like, I had did a joke about the cinema, and then my manager called me in and was like, come in here, and I was like, no. She was like, so clip were you talking about in here? And I was like, hang on a sec. And she was like, good stuff. I was like, cheers, thanks very much. So I'm working for Every now.
Did you leave the cinema?
No, still in cinema. But I was like, if Every pays well enough, I'll leave the cinema. It means I'm always free for gigs in the evenings and can just work in the morning.
You love it, like you'd work a minute silence.
I know. Tough work.
Yeah.
Mate, it's like, I don't know, like, you're technically self-employed because you're just offering them a service, like you're not an employee of Every. But like, I was about answering yesterday for 3 hours, like up and down houses, and like basically the way it works is you have an app.
Yeah.
And then your app, like, you optimize your route so it puts a load of like houses together and streets together near each other, so that like you're not like going to one house then going 10 minutes that way then come back to the same street, and number all your parcels to be like, this is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was talking to the manager before I went out, and this Polish guy came in and was like, do you know what's going on here? I've parked my car, but like I can't see what's going on. And the guy was like, you haven't optimized your route, so like it's probably going to take you to like dinner. It's like, this is like 9 a.m. He's like, it's probably going to take you to like 5 o'clock tonight to get all this done, because like you just haven't packed your car properly. So don't know what happened to him. I didn't see him again. But Every is it's actually not a gift at all. Like, actually delivering the parcels is a gift. See, mate, it's unpaid in the morning. Like, see, packing your car and all, it's unpaid.
Do you get paid parcel?
Like, per parcel, yeah. And
How much is it per parcel?
It varies depending on weight and size, but like the lowest one is 50p, I think.
Jeepers.
And then you deliver about 70 a day. But like,
no, but this is how they get you, because they'll be like, so you make 70 quid. You're talking about $200 a day. No, you're not.
You're not. Oh no, you're not, because it's 50p a parcel and you deliver 70 parcels, so you're getting half of 70, whatever it is. Now, it doesn't take you very long. Like, you know,
it's more principle.
It's more like I would rather just get paid like, this is what you get paid an hour, no matter how many parcels you deliver. Like, that would, you know. But it's mad as well, because if you don't get your parcels delivered, you just have to keep them in your car.
That's mad.
Like, you don't drop them back in the depot or anything. It's just like, nah, keep them in your house, keep them safe.
Everybody keeps telling me I look like I work in a vape shop.
I can see that as well.
Yeah. And even that girl was like, yeah, I can see it. And I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, you're just very chatty. And he's like, how does that demonstrate me working in a vape shop? Remember I told you what I worked as, and you genuinely wouldn't believe it. Man, it's the best job ever. I love it.
You look nothing like it.
Are you?
Are you going to get up here filled in?
Yeah, I'm actually getting there next month done. After
You're not getting the legs done?
Well, I did that there for another reason, and yeah, I got a jester there, and then I got Jack in the Box, but it was supposed to be a day sitting, and it only ended up getting 2. That's a story for another time, but yeah, and then yeah,
You're tatted guy. See, I have nothing.
Yeah.
Do you have any tattoos? No.
No, but give it one day. Like the rent, I might get across my chest.
Yeah.
The rent, yeah.
Pay it.
On
Yeah.
that
yeah.
note, do you mind if I and just
good.
drop stuff back to the house?
Work away.
Every
Work away.
parcels.
Do you have to go?
No, to Killer. I need to go home and get changed for Killer Rounds.
What
Work
time
away.
is it?
It's
I'm doing it too.
I know, but
Are you both doing
it? Yeah. I'm gonna get the bus in, so I can have a wee.
Fair for you.
Yeah.
Are
on
we
the
going
sauce,
to get boy wasted later?
I might do. Yeah. I'm feeling a wee bit. How long have we done?
By 50? Work away. Like, if you need to go, rock on.
Alright, let me go.
Work away.
Yeah, he could never be more awkward where he's just like,
I know, like, I know.
Frankie, I'll see you down there.
See you down there,
Toots.
Come to the B team.
Sure, he's just killed the
I know. He's the most awkward guy I've ever met.
Anyways, let's get out of here. Let's slobber about him now.
See
See
you
you
later.
later, Dan. Or Franco.
Never going. All right.
But yes, what were we talking about?
Being in school and being... Oh, you getting your tattoo. Like, would I get a tattoo?
Yeah, would you? I don't, not in a bad way. I couldn't imagine you.
I can imagine that. My mum would hate it.
Yeah. Do you think it's even like, no disrespect to Aaron, but his are whack? Like, I've got weird stuff, but he's got a film reel.
He's got a film reel. He's got the bat symbol on his arm there. And he's got like a wee pixelated Mario behind his...
Nice.
What have you got? You've got...
Bro, I have a burnt out RUC wagon.
That's quite cool.
Yeah,
That's
but
actually
people
quite cool.
hate that. They're like, oh, you're like not in the paramilitary. So I'm like, yeah, I'm
Oh,
in
the
the culture.
pigs. Yeah.
Then I got shout out my mom.
Pablo
Got that
was
from my
cool.
mom. I got everywhere. Like, but no, I like them. But it's like makeup for fellas because I used to be very, very insecure. And now I love myself. Have you ever met a man that loves himself as much as me?
I thought you had a lot of... What's the opposite of confidence in yourself?
Dread.
I don't know. Like, you just had... I thought for a while you had a lot of... I don't know. You just... Like, you would do something cool and you'd be like, nah.
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, that
I've that as well. I've got a huge amount of
Yeah,
imposter
yeah.
syndrome.
But you're also, you have to, what is good, and I think we're not obviously controlling your life or nothing, but your friends. Oh, don't worry about it, man. I was just having a DMC.
Racking the joint, right? See you later. See you. Joe, yeah, go ahead.
You're, and I wish to a certain extent, but I'm glad of like my journey with stand up, but you're surrounded by good people that have been through the trenches and have maybe been with
Absolutely.
people they're not
Yeah,
supposed to and everything. I'm not saying that like we're like manipulating, but we're sort of like keeping you on the right path. And
Absolutely.
do you know what I mean? Which is very,
Because
very
there's-
important.
And I'm not... I promise you, to those
Yeah.
watching, because I know there's boys that hate me,
Yeah.
that I'm not thinking of anybody in particular when I say this, but there's definitely people on the scene that like don't have that and then therefore make the
The silly mistakes,
and
yeah.
don't, you know...
And then but this is the thing, by default and by them not being self-aware, they outlaw themselves.
Yeah.
And then it's like, why is this happening to me? And you're like, man, if you had an inch of self-awareness, just like,
Absolutely.
like, because this is the thing, right? This little silly thing we do is the cringiest stuff ever, right? The other people that do this are people that like like the arts of it, but are also good enough to know I won't actually be good at this until 10 years in, and then it's the other egomaniacs that are like, oh, you know, like I just love just being this guy. You know what I mean? Like, I know that the American Psycho was made by a woman. And it's taking the piss out of Wall Street guys, like it's
Yeah.
a satire film.
Yeah.
Whilst the egomaniacs are like, yeah, I'm Patrick Bateman. You know what I mean?
But even like, I don't know, I just like from starting stand up in a weird way, and I can't remember who I was talking to about this. It might have been on a podcast, it might not have been. That like, there's so many people that like I don't like
Mhm.
in terms of like. That's not even maybe in like. Oh,
It's not that you don't like them as a person. You don't like the way that they're maybe taking the piss out of.
There's no interview for stand up. There's
Yeah.
no like.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a GCSE or an A level or whatever.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
So therefore, you're gonna get nutcases.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, there's a lot of people that I'm like, oh, you're a weird guy, or you're
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not really interested in chatting
Yeah.
to you, really. And that's nothing to do with the fact that I'm trying to be a prick. It's more like
This is your passion, and there's people taking the piss out of your passion. That's the best, and that's the
that
way
are
I look
also
at
doing it. Like that's,
yeah.
you know.
Like I told you, like that time I was in Texas, like I was chatting to all the people, and they're like, I've been doing this for 20 years. And I was like, just open mics. And they're like, yeah, I've left my kids in New Orleans and stuff to do this. And I'm like,
because it's one of those things that like stand up, to make it your job, to be really good at it, and you've got to have a good reputation and a
Of
good
course.
like you could be one of the best stand-ups in the world and then be a scumbag and
Yeah.
you'll not get booked. Cause
but that's it. It's
that happens. Like
yeah, like people just and everybody in their life has fallen into that wee trap of just a victim complex, and it is hard to get yourself out of it. But it's like when you get out of it and you're like, I'm so glad all these things happen. Like there was me, I had to wait 2.5 years to do Lavery's. I'm so glad I did, because if I'd done it before, I wouldn't have been ready. And I would have been like, oh, I done it before, like they got there, and then
and you would have what's the word? Done yourself now a disservice, because you might have had a subpar set a year and a half ago, or whatever it is when you started.
Like I don't want to do Lavery's again for a while, because I'm in the process of doing new material, because I'm so bored of the other stuff, where I'm like, I want to, if I'm doing massive gigs and I'm surrounded by big acts, I want them to be like, like to a certain extent being blown away. Not
What the heck's going
what
on?
is going on here? You look so different in that.
That was only 3 months ago. 2
You've
months
lost-
ago?
You've lost weight, man.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Thank
Seriously.
goodness. Take God. Take God. I don't know what happened there.
No,
Continue.
you're okay. But it's not in a matter of, because you're around with the big guys, you want them to sort of like be a lick or nothing. It's more of to the extent where you want the founding fathers to say, this guy takes it serious. This guy is like,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? Like it's the best thing ever.
I started doing podcasts when I was 15.
Yeah.
So like, and now I'm 20.
Yeah.
And of course, very young still.
But you still have 5 years.
But
of
it's
experience.
still 5 years of doing it,
Yeah.
and like, don't get me wrong, like even this now is not as good as it could be in terms of setup and blah 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 and like the post production, and it's half the reason that like might do a podcast and you might only get 2 clips from it because all my energy's taken up putting it together in the first
Of
place.
course.
Whereas you've other podcasts that like it's done in the moment, so you don't have it takes them 10 minutes to edit one, and that's great, and it'll be a great place to get to. But you just don't have that yet, and I think that's also part of going up on the scene as well. And
Of course. Like even like
it just comes with time.
it's just more of, it's like, I'm so like, I remember it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Going down to Lavery's for the first time and I seen Get Us, and I was like, oh yeah, I've done like 10 gigs and I'd love to do Lavery's. Of course he wasn't gonna let me in.
Yeah.
Like, that's so idiotic, because 10 gigs in you don't even have an idea of doing. 20 gigs you still don't. It's weird. It's like when it gains momentum, and you're like, oh my, I'm actually decent at this, I love this. Then you start to, you'll probably find as well, as you were mentioning there, the guys you went on holiday with, it's not you don't like them anymore.
Not at all. Like I really like those guys.
Yeah.
But we're interested in different things, and even they said themselves a few weeks ago, I was like, oh boys, must meet up again soon.
Yeah.
And they were like, you're like, it's good to see, like we were saying, like you're just busy with gigs flat out. And I'm not gigging flat out, but
You've got this.
if
You've
I've
got uni.
this,
You've got work.
I've got
you've
uni,
got a
I've work,
girlfriend,
I've gigs, I've girlfriend. Lads from school, although I'd love to see them, they don't fit into that as much anymore.
Yeah, of course.
And like that's just the way life goes. It's not
because this is what I was saying. Like my childhood best mates. Like I was taking the piss there saying they switched up, but like a lot of stuff happened, and they said that I started acting all. I was too good for them, but I didn't hear this through them. It was the second party.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam thinks he's better than everybody else. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I grew up with you, and I was still texting him, asking him to come to gigs and all. Don't even have to pay, and I'll get you in. Would have left me on red. And then it's like, now that this is sort of going well to a certain extent, you just want to be a dick and say that I'm a bad person for chasing something. Like, it's just like,
that's always my concern with selling tickets or whatever. It's like the people have this mentality of like, look at him, he thinks he's better than people. It's not that. It's more just like, I really love doing this, and I think like
like I always remember watching Rogan years ago, and like this is before he was a fucking lunatic talking about politics every 5 minutes, where he'd actually just used to have his friends on, and it was fun. Where he'd be like, he used to say, he was like, see, unless you do comedy, you'll think everybody that does stand up is a dick, because they don't understand that like there's you first started, you went up the chicken box. I always remember you done a vlog and you're like, you're fueling your car, so there's you paying £20-30 to do a gig for 5 minutes for maybe not a good audience size.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that. And then maybe the next night after, you were going up to Portrush, or you were going up to 𝐒𝐿, or you were doing this or that. Like, people don't understand that. And they also don't get that like I have known you for a good while, but we're good friends because of what we do.
I think very quickly I found myself drawn to a group of people that are very like-minded in terms of their opinions on comedy in general.
Yeah, it's like the same way. It's like
it's the same as any workplace or any industry.
Yeah,
you just are drawn to people that like you have similar ideas upon how things should work. You know,
but it's also an easy way as well. And we all know. I won't say. I found myself for the first maybe year and a half, maybe 2. I was doing stand up. It was why not me? Fuck that guy. Why is he getting this? Why is he not? Why is that? And it was because of the people I was surrounding myself with. But now I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's just me. Do you know what I mean? And it in a weird way it pays off. You know what I mean? Like we all do have a laugh and everything, but it's not serious. We don't actually mean that. You know what I mean? But people are just. I just think we also do live in a society now where people are just such assholes. Like I literally will refresh my Instagram following, and I'll be like, oh my God, I lost 2 followers. I'm like, what have I done? Do people hate me? And then I get so in my head and constantly think everybody hates me.
I do the same thing, and then sometimes I just go to myself, it's a number on the screen.
Yeah, literally, it does not
now
matter.
I know obviously that symbolizes someone in your life has decided I don't want to follow that guy. So it in that sense, it's more than a number on the screen.
Yeah,
but that people sometimes say, why do you care about followers? It's not followers. It's not like, oh, I need to have this many followers. It's more like, have I done something to those 2 people that they're like, I'm not going. But a lot of the time, it's people from school that go, yeah, Daniel's sound, but like I don't have any interest in a podcast or stand up, and that's all my stuff is basically.
Yeah,
you know,
people. It's just, I think it is. It's just finding what works for you and who works for you. You know what I mean? And I like these guys, and it's also like I'm friends with you because I could be friends with you without stand up.
Yeah,
that's very, very important. Where people like, because if I was just friends because of stand up, that's a business relationship.
Yeah,
there's no actual friendship.
Oh yeah, and there's people within the scene that you're friends with, or not even friends with, but just like are acquaintances purely because of the scene. Like there's people you go, I would never ever know you outside of this.
No, and you wouldn't,
which isn't a bad thing either. It's just people are.
Yeah, you know,
beings are different.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just but like there's the B team stuff and on. You're like, I'm able to with all my friends put on an event in Limelight.
It's insane. Like I've said this already before, and buy tickets hasn't hit me in the slightest that it's happening.
It'll hit and you when it's done.
It won't until after I walk off stage and go, oh, I've just done Limelight at 20.
Yeah.
Like that's it's kind of cool. You know,
that's what it is. It's you're not looking forward. You're looking forward to it, but you're not that thing where you're, as you just said, you won't be like, I'll be 20 years old just on the Limelight. No,
it's more like
you're doing it because this is like this is a passion project. You know, it's not a vanity project; it's a passion project.
But like even the idea of like the first poster we sent off, they were like, no, you're like, oh, this isn't any old willy nilly. Like, just send us whatever you've made on pic collage there.
Yeah.
It's like no, like we need to approve this poster. And we need to blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's being run properly.
Yeah.
But like even you ever get a kick out of like seeing your name on like Ticketmaster, like the likes but like and like that's not in any way cocky. It's more being like, whoa, like people are on Ticketmaster paying for tickets to see us the same way they would Taylor Swift. Not saying that's same,
but
you know what I mean?
It is the same thing,
same platform and the same like
you're just sitting there and you're like, and the best way to look at it, I don't care if this is egotistical. Like we work hard. Like it's only the start of it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And like maybe we won't have an event like this for another year, maybe 2, maybe 6 months, who knows?
Yeah.
But it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
It's the way it is, like, you know what I mean? But I love this so much. Like, it's the best thing I've ever done. I will genuinely do this until I'm dead.
Same.
Like, I don't care.
That's the thing. The thing is with it as well, I was thinking this a couple of weeks ago, like there's no retirement plan for stand up.
Nah.
Like it's not like you go, oh, I'm working my way. Like if you decide at 50, I'm gonna walk away from it. Well, you need to. What you must do. Yeah, there's no like
even
there's no healthcare. There's no holiday pay. It's like you're totally self-employed.
Even if you done TV where you were like you even get them guys like even God rest him, Paul O'Grady. I think Paul O'Grady was like a comedian like back in the day, and then he won TV. Into myself, I'm like, class, you started as a stand-up, but to me, even if I done TV, I'd still be like rocking down to the pub. And I know that people would be like, no, you wouldn't. No, but I would because I love it that much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I love that. Like, I'm going to go down here to Kill Your Darlings, probably down a hole, but I'm doing new bits.
Yeah.
I've got these ideas. I've got these concepts.
Even if you get 2 laughs, you're like, well, there's something in it.
There's something there.
Someone finds it funny.
But people don't understand. And I, as much as this does go on, I do sound like a war general. People don't get it. You don't get it until you're doing it. And even when you're doing it, you still don't get it. It's not until it just sort of clicks where you're like, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now.
Crazy.
And it was that Radiohead song is everything in the right place at the right time or something. I don't know. Yeah, but
Unreal.
no.
Folks, buy tickets for B Team.
Please.
Come see us. It's gonna be a great crack.
Yeah.
It's gonna be unreal. Go send hate towards Ciaran Franco because he left.
Because he's getting a shower.
Need to get changed.
Stanky boy.
Need to get the bus in. Yeah.
Yeah, my name's Ciaran Franco. I run Ulster Sports Club.
IBS.
IBS. I've got OCD.
Loser.
I dress like I'm cool, but I don't.
Corduroy jeans.
Corduroy jeans and weird Nike shoes.
Converse.
Converse.
Folks, thanks very much. Thank you to Adam.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Cheers,
Daniel.
Ciaran.
I'm sorry for being late.
You're here. Don't worry about it. I have nothing to do. Well, it's like I'm going to work later, but apart from that, I have nothing to do. Right. Subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. All that jazz. And we'll see you later.
Thank you, gang.
Goodbye.